we trust in you, Jesus. You're all, you're all, you're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust, we trust, we trust in you, Jesus. You're all, you're all, you're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust, we trust, we trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you, trusting in you. We're trusting in you, trusting in you.
No, no, just stay there. No. Stay there, I'll be right back. No, don't worry, I've got you. No, you stay there. Oh my gosh.
Wow, what's going on, Kim? It looks like something's got you really steamed up. It's almost like something's got you going off the rails.
Dude, you're not helping.
Just breathe.
No, it's a train engineer thing. You wouldn't understand.
Try me. I bet you I can
Oh yeah?
track.
Oh, really? You really have to stop with the train jokes.
Okay, but just one more. Go ahead and talk to me. I'm all engineers. Huh? Huh? Get it? Cause like engineers?
Fine. So, anyways, two people usually work at a train. The engineer and the fireman.
Fireman, right, got it. So like there's you, and then there's the guy with like the hat and the oxygen and the Dalmatian, and they like
Not
put
that
out
type
fire.
of
No?
fireman, no. The fireman is the one who puts coal in the furnace to heat it up.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
Right.
goes-
The
The
Okay.
train goes. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. All right.
But there's a new fireman. And this guy is driving me crazy. He never stops talking. I
Can't
mean,
imagine what that's
he
like.
goes and he starts like, "Hi Kim, how are you? What are you doing? What's your favorite color?
Kim.
Mine is purple. Are you like this? Do you
Kim.
like that? Hey, how
Kim.
about a joke?
Kim.
What if I tell you a joke? Ouch.
Kim,
What's up?
it sounds like this guy just needs a friend. Sounds like you're not really even being a good friend. You're kind of making fun of the guy.
It's just like you don't know how annoying it is. It's like my husband always talking. I can't believe it. He never stops.
I think I understand a lot better than you give me credit for.
Really?
Oh,
So
yeah.
explain to me how it is to be a good friend. I can't. This guy is.
Well, that's the thing. Today we're learning about how Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. Jesus' power helps us be good friends, right? And that's the important thing to remember. See, it's not enough just to know Jesus and then, we die and we get to live with Jesus for forever and we're good. No, Jesus tells us that we have to love other people too. And so what you need to do is look at this guy's situation. Maybe, he's new, he's probably scared, or maybe he's lonely, or any number of things. We don't know what's going on.
Well, I'd never thought about that.
Yeah, maybe one of the things you can do is you can try praying for him. Pray for him and pray for your relationship with him. Ask Jesus to help you be a good friend, because Jesus' power helps us be good friends. And then maybe you can learn to see him the way that Jesus sees him. That's the thing. We learned yesterday about how Jesus died on the cross for us. Well, Jesus didn't just die for you and me, but Jesus also died for this new fireman.
Well, I will need a lot of prayer for that friend. But you're right. Can you pray with me after this?
Yeah, let me go ahead and get the kids started on today's stuff, and then I'll hang around and we can pray for you and for the new fireman. Okay?
Alright, sounds good. Well, I'm going to start getting stuff ready for my trip, and after this, I'll come back and I'll pray with you, and you pray with me.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys!
Alright, so that's what we're learning about today, is that Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. All we have to do is trust Jesus. So remember, one more time, we've got to learn how to see everyone the way that Jesus sees them, and remember that Jesus just didn't die for us, but he even died for the people at school that pick on you, that are mean, that are annoying, that smell bad, that are just different. Jesus died for everyone. So Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Just trust Jesus.
Same power that rose Jesus from the grave, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us. The same power that moves mountains when he speaks, the same power that can calm a raging sea, lives in us, lives in us. He lives in us, he lives in us. We have hope that his promises are true in his strength. There is nothing we can't do, yes we know. There are greater things in store. We will not be overtaken, we will not be overcome. The same power that rose Jesus from the grave, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us. The same power that moves mountains when he speaks, the same power that can There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave. The same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may. Where I go with you. Oh, 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 oh. Where I go with you. Oh, 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 oh. Where I go with you. Your breath upon these bones, your fire in my soul, your kingdom is my home, and I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may. Where I go with you. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you.
I heard everyone was steaming ahead with the last day of Rocky Railway. Glad you're here. I'm Lawrence Elk, not a moose, not a ram, but an excellent elk. Male elks are called bulls, and me and my bull buddies like to hang out way up in the Rocky Mountains. In the winter, we move down where we can find grass. But in the spring and summer, we head for the hills. It's important that we stick together with the herd. Some elk herds are as big as 400 friends. Although my antlers are big and strong, female elk or babies don't have these, and a hungry bear is hard to fight off. Speaking of these amazing antlers, they are pretty incredible if I do say so myself. Sometimes they come in handy when other herds get too close to mine, or I need to show another bull that I'm in charge. Yeah, sometimes we butt heads, even in our happy herd. But I try not to get too attached. Literally, they fall off every year and I grow a new set. How cool is that? God also gave me a unique power to help me communicate with the herd. That's called bugling. It's a little like roaring and whistling at the same time. It keeps my herd close together where we can be safe. Our herd even has scouts, a few elk who stand watch while others graze. We have to look out for each other. Do you have friends who look out for you? Friends you like to call out to when you're sad or silly, happy or hurting? Or do you sometimes butt heads with your buddies? Maybe you need the power to forgive and love a friend when you're not getting along. You don't have to do that all by yourself. Jesus gives you his power to help be a good friend. Jesus gave this powerful command in the Bible. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. If you're butting heads with your buddies and not getting along, you can trust Jesus' power and follow his words. Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Trust Jesus.
my goodness, it is the last day of VBS, and it has been a fantastic week, a week that we've been learning all about the power of Jesus and what his power does for us. Hopefully by now you've seen the cross, the power of the cross, the power of Jesus and his sacrifice does so much more for us than just letting us go to heaven. That's a huge, big thing, but it gives us power, right? It gives us power to be bold. It gives us power to be courageous. It gives us hope. It gives us victory. And today we're learning about how Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. So I want to do this. I want you to play a game as a family and then come back after you play the game for a little bit. And we're going to talk about exactly what that means. See, we are talking all about being friends. And the best game that we have for being friends, I'm going to read you the directions because I hate not giving good directions, but the best game that we have is one where you understand what it feels like to be a part of the group, and you can understand what it feels like to be excluded from the group, because truly, 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 the best friends are ones that include you, that make you feel accepted and make you feel loved. And sometimes it's difficult for us to love certain people. It's hard when they're really annoying or they just don't stop talking, or the things they talk about we just don't care about, right? So this game will help us understand what it feels like to be a part of the group and to be outside of the group. Okay, so let me read to you the instructions. It says this. Tell someone in your family, we'll call out a description, and if it describes you, you're going to try and run to the center of a circle. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to all make a circle, and when someone calls out a description, you run to the center of that circle if it applies to you. For instance, if they said, if you're wearing a blue or a green, whatever color you decide this is shirt, then I would run to the center of that circle. And then once you get in, you're going to circle up really close, locking elbows, and you're going to hold together, okay? And then when your parent or whoever's calling out the instructions says go, everyone else is going to try and run and get inside of that circle. And all that inner group is going to do is try and keep people from getting in. Now, you're in family, so you might need to change this up. So what you can do is you can have a doorway, and people are going to try and go through the doorway, and 2 or 3 people block that. And those people that are blocking it, or this inner circle, you're just going to get really tight together, and you're going to try and keep people out, keep people from getting in. You're going to try and close up any space that there is. Okay? And then, after you play that, your goal is to keep people out. If you're not in, your goal is to get in. Afterward, there's a couple questions I want you to ask. One is, how did it feel to be part of that inner circle? 2, how did it feel when you were left out of the inner circle? And 3, tell about a time you felt left out in real life. What happened? How did you feel? Have you ever felt left out? So those are the questions to talk about. You can come back and look at that portion of what I just said if you need it. Otherwise, go ahead and pause the video, go play the game, have that short discussion, and come on back. We'll be waiting here to talk about today's Bible lesson. Hey, welcome back. We are so glad you got to play that game. So let's go ahead and get started with today's totally true Bible story. And it's pretty short. It's this. Just like you had that inner circle, or you had that group that was trying to keep people out, the very first Christians, the very first people that loved Jesus, Peter, John, those apostles, those guys, they kind of had like their own inner circle, if you will. They had their own group of friends that were Christians. But the difference is, and sometimes maybe you're this way with your friends, they didn't want to keep people out. See, a lot of times we see where there's this inner circle and they don't want people to be a part. Like in the game, there was an inner circle and you didn't want people to be a part of what's going on. You just wanted to be you and your friends. Well, the very first Christians, they weren't that way. What they said was, we're at this circle, but we want our circle to grow and get big. And so they told people all the time about who Jesus is and what he did and Jesus' power and all the things that Jesus' power helps us do. And we talked about several of those stories this week. Paul, when he was on the ship, when it wrecked, he was telling even those sailors all about Jesus' power and how Jesus' power would give them hope, how Jesus' power was what was going to save them. And we talked about Peter and John earlier this week and how they went to prison for telling people about Jesus. And they even used that opportunity to tell people about Jesus' power and how it's Jesus' power helped them be bold. And so today we're talking again about how Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. And the example we have there is how the very first Christians told everyone all about Jesus' power. Acts 2:42 says, go ahead and get your Bible out if you don't have it out already. Acts chapter 2 verse 42 says something very important for us to see what it means to be a good friend as far as Christians go. All right, so I've tried to give you some time to get there. Remember, Acts is in the New Testament, chapter 2, verse 42. It says this, "And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. And awe came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together and had all things in common. They were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together, breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved." See, right there we get this picture of those very first Christians who loved people. They just loved them, and they were good friends. I mean, look how many times the word together came up. They were doing everything together. They were studying scripture together. They were breaking bread together. That means, sometimes it means that they were eating, and other times it means they were like taking communion. So they were both worshiping God together, and they were eating together and having fun. They were good friends who studied scripture together. They loved one another. In fact, did you even see in verse 45 it says, "And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need." They were even selling off their stuff to make sure that people that were poor and didn't have things they needed wouldn't go without. They were selling their stuff to help their friends. That is an amazing love for each other. And truly, they loved each other. Jesus' power helped them to be good friends. So how can we be good friends like that today? That's a great question to ask, because we know that if Jesus' power helped them to be good friends, then Jesus' power helps us to be good friends too. So, the very first thing that we can do is learn to start thinking of other people first. And that means if it's coming from Jesus' power, we need to start praying for other people. And just like we learned about today with Kim Track, sometimes that means loving other people that we don't like. Sometimes we have to love other people that we just frankly don't like. And so you need to pray for those people. Pray for them. Because the amazing thing that happens when you pray for someone is that a lot of times God changes you. He changes your heart, and you start to see that person the way that Jesus sees them. Because remember, Jesus didn't just die for you and people that you like and people that like you. Jesus died for everyone. Mean people, evil people, people that you don't like, people that are annoying. Jesus died for them. He loves them just as much as he loves you. And so our job as Christians is to love them too. So that means praying for them. Another great way to be a good friend is to tell your friends good things about them. So here's what I want you to do. After this video ends, as a family, sit down together and actually take time looking at one another. Hopefully you spent time together this week, and I know that you spend a lot of time together. You go on vacations together, you're at home with your family. Maybe you have friends over to the house. That would be awesome. If you do, take time right now, sit down together, and go around in a group saying the things that you love about the other people in the group. So take some sort of talking stick, or it can be your Bible or something, and pass it around the group. And one person holds it, and whenever you have it, everyone in the group will say one thing that they love about you. And then you pass it to your left, and then everyone in the group will say one thing that they love about that person. And go forward and so on, and tell everyone something that you love about them. Encourage them, help build them up, help them see how Jesus uses them. Tell them something that God has done through them to help you. If we really are good friends, then we need to be telling our friends the good things that they do and the ways that they're just awesome, right? So that's a part of it. Finally, the last thing is this. If you want to be a good friend, it also means being part of a community of believers. Now that might sound like a big thing to say, but all that means is you need a group of friends that are Christians. And guess what? That's what the church is. The church is a group of friends that are all Christians that want to help you know God better. So you need to be getting involved at church. So, we are going to open up Children's Church again starting Sunday, August 16th. And so we would love to have you here so that you can be a part of what we're doing. And we would love to help be your friends so that you can love God better. We would just ask that you're our friend too. We've done a lot this week, and we would love to see you at church. It's so much more fun when we can be in person and we can learn together and you can ask me questions and we can genuinely interact. So, we hope that we see you August 16th. We hope that you've had a good week. Just remember everything you've learned this week. That Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. That's today, right? We learned today that Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. And we learned earlier in the week that Jesus' power helps us do hard things. We learned that Jesus' power gives us hope. We learned that Jesus' power helps us to be bold. That Jesus' power lets us live forever. All we have to do is trust Jesus.
Welcome to Imagination Station. I really can't believe it's our last day together. I've had so much fun making discoveries with you this week. Today, we're discovering that Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Trust Jesus. But before we dig into that, I get to ask you one last time. Did you bring your imagination today? Since it's our last day at Rocky Railway, we need tons of imagination. I was talking to my friend Lawrence Elk, and he told me something amazing. Did you know that an elk can weigh as much as 730 pounds? I said, Lawrence, how do you power up to carry all that weight up a mountain? And he told me he eats 20 pounds of vegetation every single day. Do you have any vegetation where you're at? In a moment, I'm going to have you run to the nearest vegetation and touch it and then run back. It could be a houseplant or a flower or even a bag of carrots. Hurry and come right back. Now that we have our imagination sprouting, let's find out today's question. How many toes do elk have on each leg? Do they have 2 toes or 4 toes? Think about your answer. Ready? Okay, time for the drum roll so I can reveal the amazing answer. And the answer is elk have 4 toes on each leg. Imagine that! It's our last day at Imagination Station, and today we're going to make power bands. Yay! Steam trains get their power from either wood or coal. So you can use wood beads or coal beads on your power band, or you can use both. But we get our power from Jesus. Every day at Rocky Railway, we discovered something new about Jesus' amazing power. So you'll add 1 cross to your power band to help you remember Jesus' power in your life. I'll walk you through the simple steps. As you work, remember that Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Trust Jesus! Before you start, you'll need to find some tape and some kid-friendly scissors. And you may need a family member to lend a hand. In your kit, you'll have 10 beads. Some will be coal beads, some will be wood beads, and you'll have 1 cross bead and an elastic band. The first step to making your power band is to tie a knot on one end of the string. Just like that. You're going to put the band down and grab your tape. Tape the band down either to a table or the floor. This is going to make it easier for you to string the beads. Next, thread your choice of beads onto the string, making sure to include at least 1 cross bead. You can do any pattern that you want. Now, remove the tape and work with a partner to tie the strings around your wrist and knot it so it fits just right. I had a grown-up help me cut the ends off my band, so now it looks nice and neat. Every time you wear your power band, you can remember that Jesus has amazing power, and he uses that power to help us. And since we know that Jesus' power helps us be good friends, trust Jesus. You can be a good friend by giving a power band to a friend. That way, your friend can remember Jesus' power too. every time you wear your power band, you can remember that Jesus has amazing power, and he uses that power to help us. And since we know that Jesus' power helps us be good friends, trust Jesus. You can be a good friend by praying for someone every time you look at your bracelet. Well, believe it or not, we've come to the end of our time at Imagination Station. If you need a place to keep your power band, you can put it inside of a baggie. And if you have the Try This at Home sticker, it will help you remember today's point. Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Trust Jesus. Thank you so much for joining us at Imagination Station here at Rocky Railway VBS, where we've learned that Jesus' power pulls us through. Trust Jesus.
Hey, welcome back to Locomotive Games Day 5. We are so excited. If you stuck with us so long, we really pray that VBS has been a blessing to you, and we know that it's been different. So today we're learning how Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. And so again, we got 2 games that we're gonna play. The very first one we're gonna play, you need your handy dandy ball, or you need balloons, or you need something and you need partners. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a ball and you place it on your chest, and then you're gonna have your partner stand with their back to you, facing that way, and you're gonna form a chain, and you're gonna keep the ball pushed between your chest and your partner's back. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna set up an obstacle course, and you're gonna try and go through the obstacle course together without letting that ball fall, okay? That sounds pretty simple, but it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to work together, and it's gonna help you learn how to work as a team, how to work as partners, and it's gonna help us remember that Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. So go ahead and pause the game, go play. We'll be waiting for you when you get back. Hey, coming at you from a different angle now that you're back. And all we're gonna talk about is our next game. And there's a reason I'm down here, believe it or not. All you need for this game is pool noodles. You can use a ball again. If you got sponges for a car, you can use whatever you want. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna lay down, okay? You're gonna lay down like this, and you're gonna have one person put their feet here on your shoulders, and one person at the bottom of your feet with you on their shoulders down until eventually someone's gonna be at the bottom. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna try and pick up the pool noodles with your feet and pass them without ever using your hand to the person behind you. And they're gonna have to catch them with their feet, and you're gonna have to pass them all the way back. And you can pass them all the way back forward if you want, however you wanna do it. But again, this game also helps us learn that we have to work as a team, and that when things seem hard, we know that Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. All right, play the game, have fun, enjoy your last day of digital VBS. We've loved having you this week. Take care, God bless you, and remember, Jesus' power helps us to be good friends.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust, we trust, we trust in you, Jesus. You're all, you're all, you're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us whole and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey. There's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, oh.